Welcome to Hot Flashes and Bold Moves, a podcast for women over 50 who are done apologizing, done shrinking, and absolutely done pretending we don't know where our clitoris is.
That's right. We're Michelle and Dana, two badass, hilarious, hormone-raging women navigating the wild ride of aging with no filter, no shame, and no damn patience for bullshit.
From vaginal mysteries to dating disasters, dry spells to bold-ass reinventions, we are serving up real talk, belly laughs, and probably a little oversharing.
True. So pour a glass, put a fan in your bra, and buckle up. It's about to get
Hot in here. This is Hot Flashes and Bold Moves. Let's get into it. Hello, and welcome to Hot Flashes
and Bold
Moves.
We can't get that together.
We can't, and it's okay. People get it. They know what we're doing.
We'll be together soon, people.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the last 3 weeks of podcasts from Norma with Purpose. All right. And we promised you that this episode would be conversation with an esthetician, and our esthetician is not on board. So that is not what's happening today.
You'll find an esthetician that will be on board, but that's okay.
I have one of the best estheticians and people and friends in the world, and she's just not quite on board yet. So I'll just keep working that. And we decided today we're actually going to talk about something that's kind of pertinent to both of our lives, and it's about losing friends at this age. Okay?
First, what's in your cup? I know we usually have such exciting things in our cup, but
I know I have nothing in my cup today except orange flavored Emergency, because I've been substitute teaching at elementary schools, and God love them, the babies are just full of pestilence right now, and there's just snot flowing everywhere.
Throwing buggers at you.
So I am the little booger heads. I am just popping. I am building up the vitamin C. Yeah. What you got?
In my little mug.
Podcasting Queen mug.
Yes. Thanks to Kimberly Spencer from Podcasting Queen. Sent me this mug. So in my cup is just, I don't drink coffee. This is just green, apricot green tea. That's all I'm having today.
Sounds, you fancy.
I know. I should be like, okay, I don't know if I can do it with my finger. I was looking like, what time is tea time? Tea time is like 4 o'clock or something.
But have you ever noticed? Yeah, teacups are very tiny. They're little dainty things, so you can hold them and put out a pinky.
Yeah,
but these big cups, you got to grab a hold of.
You got to grab a hold of them.
Grab a hold of the cup.
Well, yeah, I'm just doing my green tea.
Yep.
I'm getting back into it. I love to mix them all together.
I don't enjoy the hot drink so much. So I don't do coffee. I don't do tea. I will have the occasional hot chocolate, because let's not kid ourselves. It's chocolate.
Of course. Okay. So what are you calling this one again?
This one we will title The Hardest Breakup Wasn't Romantic.
Yeah.
Oi. And, it's such a weird phase of life. So the thing about this is the losing of friendships, there's no actual breakup, right? Nobody said, I mean, in theory, like if you break up with a partner of some sort, you're like, this isn't working for me. I'm not feeling it for you, whatever, right? There's an official break of some sort. And friendships, I think more often than not, they just kind of drift away.
They kind of drift apart.
Yeah.
And I think the hardest part about this too is that these are your relationships by choice. These are the people you choose. So like, you can't help who you fall in love with. I mean, there's just some people you should stay away from, and you just
right. All the red flags are flying, and you're still like, let's get a drink.
Even though I'm like,
all those flags,
like a huge red flag. But these are the people you choose to be in your world. These are your peeps, It's not your family. You can't help who your family is. You're stuck with them. And then, but this is your chosen family. So for me, when they drift apart, I mean, we all know the season. What's a reason season?
The reason season thing. Yeah, I don't know the exact wording, and I know what you're getting at.
But
Some
there's
people are
some.
in your lives at a certain point for some specific reason, and then when that's over, they drift away, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, fine.
Yeah. My relationship that I'm talking about felt worse. To me, it felt worse than a divorce. Like it was like I really missed this person, you
Yeah.
know. So anyway, so
Yeah.
I feel like that's why these are so damaging. Well, not only that, because you probably have told these people they've seen you're ugly, like you're real ugly,
Yes.
and they know
Yeah.
some of your deepest, darkest secret, and so you're like,
Hate
boy,
having that out there and
exactly.
not liking me anymore or whatever it is, right?
I really don't want this person angry with me, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So that's
I
sort of,
get it. And that's just an assumption that would make, I'd like to believe that if they were my friends, they aren't those shitty people that are going to go sharing my dirty laundry with the world,
yeah,
because I don't feel like I would pick friends like that. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
same.
Yeah. And,
But I have a bad habit of giving everything right up at the front.
just spilling.
Necessarily spilling. Oh, they say this is like a trauma thing. I go deep, like I try to get deep really quick with somebody. Just I want to know everything about you. I want to be, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to be really deep and close. And probably because I haven't had a lot of those kind of relationships. Most of my friendship, like with the exception of you and maybe one or two other people, it stays on the surface.
Yeah.
Kind of, I don't really go deep with.
I think I believe that happens with a lot of people. I mean, I could sit here and say I have a lot of friends. I do. And I'm lucky in that regard. As far as the people who truly know me, my warts and all, handful.
Yeah.
And so I get that. Although I am an open book. I will tell you
Yeah.
anything you want to know.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I think that's why we get along. And I've noticed though, the I guess the best way I can describe it is who can you call at 3 a.m. and say, I need you to bring a shovel, and they just say, be there in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
How many of those friends do you really have?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I have a ton of, I would say friends, but not
Yeah.
really. If you think about it, I have a ton of acquaintances.
Oh, that's an interesting distinction.
I mean,
And
I'm
not
a
that we're
fun.
really going to kill anybody. You all get the metaphor.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry, the
Exactly.
analogy. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I'm a fun person to invite to dinner. I think I'm a fun person to invite to a party.
Yeah.
I haven't been fortunate enough, like my mom, Judy, has had a friend, Kathy, since they were 10 years old. And they're in their 80s, and they're like sisters. If something happens to one of them, it's going to be a very devastating.
Yeah. Like even more so than a spouse, right? Because
Yeah.
they've been there for all of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
And I think if you have that, I think that's beautiful, and you're so lucky.
And can you continue nurturing, cultivating it? Yeah. I remember my mom talking about it, right? So she had this group of women friends. Actually, so she had two different groups of women friends. Some of them were from childhood.
Yeah.
Right. And there was a group of four of them, right? Yeah. Four of them. And they would get together, and they grew up in a very small town farming community. And so they were a tight bunch.
Yeah, the air itch there is your menopause.
Yeah. And it's back.
I was like,
It was getting better, and now it's back. Claude even asked me the other day, he's like, what's going on with the ear there? I'm like, it's back. I don't know why, but it is.
Probably allergies, girl.
Maybe because the atmosphere changed.
I'm sorry.
And the environment changed. So and then she had another group of people that she actually called her slumber party group. And it was a bunch of women they met in their 30s, and they would, through a common organization, and they would get together frequently and have slumber parties. So they would go to somebody's house, they would eat and drink and spend the night and do all that, whatever. Right. And they were around for all of my life. But then people started like drifting off. Like there was this group of like 10 of them, and then there was a group of like 7 of them, and then there was, and it just got smaller and smaller. And she was like, I don't really see her much anymore. I don't really talk to her much. And of course now, then no texting, no cell phones, no direct messaging.
It was a real effort.
Yeah. Yeah, it was real effort. You had to
Yeah.
pick up a phone and dial somebody's number and spend time on the phone with them, right? Where you had to
Mhm.
see them in person or you had to write them a letter or whatever. And I remember it being really hard on her, but my mom was, she was angry at them. She was not like thinking, why did this happen? What role did I
What could I
play?
have done? Yeah.
Yeah. And what I learned from her then and what I've learned in my experience now is she needed to get over herself and I need to get over myself. Because here's the thing. Sometimes, know me what? Most of the time, it really has absolutely nothing to do with us as individuals. It's we get older and we hit different phases of different places. Political beliefs change.
Children.
We live far away from each other. We're caring for aging parents, and that consumes all of our free time and our energy and our brain power. And I have a friend whose adult son has been very sick with a neurological version of Lyme disease for a couple of years, and that has consumed her. And so it's just everybody's in different places. And okay, Michelle, fuck off. It's not about you. Like,
Well,
okay. Yeah.
it's funny because a friend and I'm an extrovert. She was an introvert, and we waited tables together. And she was not a very warm, fuzzy, approachable person, and I took that as a challenge. So I just sat down in front of her and just imploded myself on her life, and then we became friends. We were roommates. We worked. She helped me get a job where she was at. Then I went through a lot of changes, and then I had babies. And my second one, I was older when I had my second one, and we just kind of so we've reconnected over my job search, and we've been talking and stuff. And I kind of asked her, I was like, I'm sorry. I know I was a lot, and I was. Look, God bless her. I was a lot. I was not a good human in some stages of my life. I just
Well,
wasn't.
and you're a big personality anyway. And then now you got babies and you're single momming and all that. I mean, it's a lot to take on as an individual.
I mean, from the time I was 20 to 30, I was not a good human. And this person was still my friend. I mean, I was anyway. So I was like, what happened? And this is so true. She said, well, you got busy, with your baby, and then we stopped working together. And when you look at how much of the people you hang out with, mostly, that's how you and I met, was
Yep.
through networking, working.
Yep.
These are the people that are around you most of the time,
Yep.
and you're doing that sort of thing, and you just kind of, and shit, you spend 8 hours a day with
You spend more time with the people you work with than you spend with your family. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. And honestly, I have really been trying to cultivate relationships because I am the kind of person that I can get stuck in my home and stay there and be just fine. I don't really need, I hate to say that, I really don't need a lot of, for as
Claude.
big of an extrovert as I am very much an introvert.
Yeah, I hear you. Claude is the same way.
And I had a friendship of about 5 years. This is how I believe a season, because I talked to this person every single day while she was going through her divorce, while I was going through my separation and all that. And I love this person dearly. We just don't talk. Now, I don't understand how you go to talking to somebody every single day to once or twice a month now. I don't understand how that happens, but it does. It doesn't mean I don't love this person anymore. It's just,
No. And it doesn't mean they don't love you. And that's the thing. So thinking about your friend who said to you, well, you got busy with the kids and we didn't work together anymore. And sometimes we don't even realize that it's something that's happening in our world that has changed it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Maybe you've changed. Maybe something about you is different and they might feel like they don't want it or you don't have space for them or they disagree with it. I guess that's maybe the same thing as they don't want it, but whatever. I mean, it might just be something about you that's changed. And I'm the first person to admit that I don't have, aside from being empty nesters, I don't have a lot in common anymore with my longtime friends because, well, we have the history, right, of being longtime friends.
Sure.
But I'm not taking, I don't have any kids in my hometown area where I don't have any kids where I'm living. So that's something different, right? So most of them do. Or they're taking care of aging parents. I don't have that. and I can't even really speak to it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so if I'm having a conversation with somebody about caring for their aging parents, I might come off sounding callous or cavalier, or, because I ask a question that's like, well, duh,
Why?
you dumbass, I can't just do that. Okay.
Right.
I can't. And I haven't lived in our hometown area for most of my life. I think more than anything, it's the history and what we used to have more than what we currently have.
Right. And I have this. It's funny you say that because I have a friend that I've been friends with since we were going into our junior year in high school. And it's funny, we've separated, connected, separated, and we're in a connection part. And she got, she's gotten real bold in her voice and expressing herself and like things that annoy her. So she sent me a text and she goes, I think it's absolutely fucking rude that when we're on the phone and you say your kids or your mom call and you're like, I gotta go, and you just hang up. I mean, aren't they like, isn't your mom like older and aren't your kids older? Like, and when I say she doesn't have children, so she was irritated that I was rude
Yeah.
about it. So she goes, what is that? I go, well, let me explain this to you. And I said, and I mean this in the most loving way because you're not going to get it. And I don't, when I say this, I'm not saying because you don't have children and I'm,
Right.
higher than you.
I have children. You don't.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I'm not being that way, but she doesn't have children.
Right.
So she doesn't have the field of not reference that I'm coming from, right? So I said to her, listen, both of my boys, they never call me unless they need something. And my mom is of an age where I worry about her. And if I haven't heard from her and I've reached out to her and she hasn't answered and she calls me, and I said, I'm going to tell you, I hear you and what you need for me not to be rude. I'm just telling you this, that's not going to stop. I'm going to
Yeah.
continue to do that to you.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, no. And she's so funny because she's like, well, that makes sense. I fucking understand. I just didn't understand, like, what's going on. And I was like, yeah, my kids do not call me. Boys really don't call you unless they need something. And my mom, there's time, and I told her there's many times that my mom has called that I don't say, hey, I got to go. I got to answer this because I've already talked to her that day. And she's like, oh, well, okay. Just, maybe we can, I'll tell you what, maybe I'll change. Oh, I don't want to say her name. I said, but hey,
Hey, friend.
Hey, friend, I got to go. One of the offspring is calling, they might need something. So, but usually, and I understand why because usually when we're talking, we're like in a nitty gritty, like we're really in a conversation, and I'm have to, I can see why she thought that was rude, and now she's cool
because you are just cutting it off.
Yeah, and that is rude.
Yeah,
that is
I get
rude.
it.
And I'm sure she was having a martini, thinking, "What a bitch! Why does she keep doing that to me?" I could just see her too. Like she's so beautiful. I could just see her. What? That's rude. I'm just gonna tell her about it now. And I love that about her because if she's irritated with you, she's gonna tell you, and I appreciate that.
When friendships start to drift away, notice, and here's the other thing, and maybe it's an age thing, because friendships drifted away when I was 20, 30, 40. Right?
Yeah.
And
but you had 100 pennies back then.
What?
You had 100 pennies back then. Like when you're in your 20s, you've got like hundreds of friends. Yeah. And I would rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I love that. Yeah. And that said, it also didn't, I don't know, maybe just because life was happening and my life was going on and I'm like, okay, it happens, whatever. And then there were some times when I knew why it happened. I got divorced. I lost a whole bunch of friends because I got divorced.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. And that was hard. And I got it. There was a reason. I mean, they were his friends first. He can have them in the divorce. It's fine. Now I think it's because I want to focus on friendships more, or I guess I am focused on friendships more. And now I can think about it. So I'm, why is this happening? Why? And then I get myself all worked up. And that's when I got to go back to, it has nothing to do with you, Michelle. Get over yourself. Yeah. And I will get
nobody likes you that much. Which is what you're worried about. Nobody likes me.
Nobody likes me. Well, yeah, and it's honestly less about why don't they like me as it is why don't they tell me.
Yeah.
So I guess I want to break up. You know what I mean? I want the line that says, I'm not being your friend anymore because you irritate the shit out of me when you drink. Or, I'm not being your friend anymore because you just don't get what I'm going through with my parents or, whatever it is. And I don't even honestly know that people
Are
could even say
aware.
that. Yeah, could even say that because I actually like brought a few of my friends together over Zoom and I was like, "Hey, as everybody has a chance, can we talk today?" And a couple of them were like, "Yeah, is everything okay?" And I was like, "Shit, well, yes, everything is fine." I'm like, "Okay,
Why is
well,
she calling me?
yeah, why do we need to talk, right?" And so then I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay, well, there's that." And, and then when we talked, and they were like, no, it's not. Yeah. Basically, it has nothing to do with you, and life is happening and you, whatever. And it's because they've got other shit going on in their lives that they are focused on, that maintaining their friendship with me isn't uppermost in their minds. And it could be because they don't need it to be, they don't want it to be. It could also just be that they aren't thinking about it because I've been there. I've always been there. I'll be there.
When
Like, you
I'm
know what I
done.
mean? I'll always be
Yeah.
there. Yeah. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's a strange phenomenon. And I just remember it happening to my grandma because I was very close to her and my mom, and we talked about these things. And now that it's happening, or feels like it's happening, I'm like, hey, maybe there's something to that.
But there's also sometimes there is an argument or something that, and then you kept telling me this, and I found what was it you would say to me when I was having an issue with this friendship, and then an incident happened, and I just found myself, I don't really care to mend it. And,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't, I mean, and obviously the other person feels the same way. I mean,
yeah,
and
yeah.
how is that, you were so close, and then all of a sudden you're like, I just really don't care to
And
mend it.
I don't need to, yeah. And that's the other question is if there is a falling out, if something does happen, is it something you care enough about fixing? And if it's not, then don't.
Well,
And
I
then
will,
let it
I,
go.
yeah, well, I will say I had a less than beautiful behavior moment, right? Which
Yeah,
was very out of character for me. And it's funny, I apologized for that moment. Like, I
yeah.
apologize for my behavior in that moment. I have no desire, like, to rehash it, to
No.
try to figure out what happened. And that's shocking to me. Like, because I'm normally not that type of person. I'm normally like, I got to figure this out. I want to be a detective on this. What can I, you know? And I'm just like, I don't give two shits.
No.
And like one of my friendships, she's probably just tired of listening to me drone on about my relationship. Even though I listened to her divorce, just sometimes you just get tired, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think I don't know that you get tired. Maybe you just want to talk about something else, maybe. Or
Exactly.
yeah, I suppose there's that. And then just say, you know what? Can we talk about anything but this,
Can we talk about anything else but you at this moment? I mean,
or even this particular thing, this relationship, or this
can
person,
you
or
not talk
whatever.
about this person? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
ask for that. If and again, you only need to ask for it if it's a friendship that you care about saving,
Yeah, and
maintaining.
you do that to me all the time. Well, what do you need? Well, fuck
Yeah.
if I know what I need.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah,
I
that's
don't
the
know.
thing. I mean, if you don't know what you need, I certainly don't know what you need. And we can bicker and argue about whatever, but until we get to the core of it, nothing's going to move forward. And that's the
And
same with other friendships. That is, if you've been having the same conversation over it, it's like that with any relationship. Actually, you know what? If there's something to fight for, I want to fight for it, but I don't want to keep having this fight or whatever.
exactly.
Yeah,
Can we
and
not rehash this? I mean, I think this is like the fifth horse we've beat to death on this, right?
yeah,
Like, so I'm actually starting a friendship with my mom. So bless her heart, she and I got in the car the other day. I was in a mood, irritated, and she was like, well, and I finally said, Judy, I'm not here. I don't need you to fix this.
yeah,
I just need to vent. And she said, okay, so in the future, I'm just going to ask you, is this something you need help with?
yes.
Or do you just need to, be grumpy? I was
one
like,
of
I need to be grumpy, Vic. Let me be grumpy.
you're all right. And you know
Yeah.
what? Actually, I love that because I think especially with parents and kids, doesn't matter how old our kids are, we want to
I
fix,
was
right? That's what we do. We want to
watching.
fix. A friend of mine came up with a phrase that I just love, and we can use it in anywhere. Do you need to be heard? Do you need to be helped? Do you need to be hugged?
Absolutely love that. I'm gonna start using
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the same as me saying, "What do you need from me?" You know what? I just need you to shut up and listen. Okay, so I just need to be heard, right? I just need to be heard. Shut up and listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Because
do
I
you
am not good at digging deep, so I'm not good at like explaining what I need.
Well, you
Because
did
sometimes
though.
I really don't.
You did
Oh,
it
go
with
ahead.
Judy. Just shut up and listen.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And because you know as well as I do as a mom, our go-to with our babies is to fix.
Yeah.
And so just got to think that. And with friendships, it's kind of the same. I'll ask you, what do you need from me? You're like, I don't fucking know. And fine, then I don't either. And I'll just do this.
I'm gonna watch you just spin out of control for a few minutes.
Right, right. I'll just do this until we get there, whatever. Yes. And maybe that's part of it with friendships is that because I do that with everybody. And again, I say this I think almost every time we talk, we are a generation that doesn't know how to ask for help. And so, especially women, because our moms were the moms who paved the way for us to have it all, and they never asked for help. Right? They drove themselves into the ground and never asked for help. And so we are that way too. So we don't know how to say, I need you to shut up and listen. 95% of the time, if I have a friend who's come to me with something that is significant for them and they want to talk to me about it for whatever reason, and I say, what do you need from me? 95% of the time, I don't know, is the response.
Yeah.
You know what you need. You just don't know.
Sometimes I really don't know what I need.
Well, and you just don't know how to ask for what you need. You don't know how to say, shut up and listen, or give
No, I think
me.
I'm pretty good about that.
And okay, most people don't know how to
Yeah, I
say, just
know. Yeah, I'm just
listen.
joking. I'm just
And I'm legit when I ask that. I want because if I'm having a conversation with you and I'm offering you advice and you don't want my advice, then we end up where you and Judy were the other day, and you're all pissed off. You're like, just shut up and listen. I don't need you to fix it.
yeah.
And then people get mad, right? Or whatever. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's necessarily what's happened in the friendships that have drifted away from me, from my life. It's just another point of possibilities and maintaining friendships.
And I think proximity is a thing. As I have a friend that lives proximity, working with, I mean, it's
Yep.
a lot easier. Like when you lived around the corner for me, it was really easy for us. Hey, let's go grab some Mexican food or let's
Yeah.
get a margarita. I mean, otherwise, it's a undertaking. You have to plan to drive 35 minutes or
Right.
over an hour.
Why
You
2 hours?
know, so,
Yeah, whatever.
yeah. So proximity is a big thing, I think,
Absolutely.
and lifestyle changes is a big thing. So yeah, I'm starting
Yeah.
unless there's a like an absolute defined moment of the friendship ending. I don't think it's anything personal.
I believe life happens and people change and people's worlds change so that they need to go a different direction. Doesn't necessarily involve you. Yeah,
Mm,
and that's the thing. That's the biggest thing for me, and that's always been the biggest thing for me is that I need to get over myself, and I'm better
yeah,
at it than I used to be,
yeah,
and I still struggle with it. And here's the thing that I'll tell you, people, friends, girls, sisters, whoever, if you're out there fretting about the loss of friendships and thinking all the things and you got yourself all wound up, panties in a bunch, and these things are just swirling, right? You're doing that to yourself, and it's probably just you need to get over yourself.
well, I
Probably
will,
really doesn't have anything to do with you, people's
and there's a
lives.
good way to find out.
And
I
exactly, ask.
I stopped. I find myself pursuing and pursuing and pursuing and
Mhm.
pursuing. I'm the one that is always, so I stopped. I just stopped calling people and stopped texting people. And I've weeded out a shit ton of people because
Yeah.
the ones that are eventually like giving a call, like, hey, where you been? I'm like, okay, all right. And so now those people I stay in touch with.
Yep.
But all these other people that I was like, hey, let's go do this, let's go do this. I was like, I'm always the one asking. I'm
Yep.
always the one initiating. Let's just stop and see who talks to me.
See what happens. Yep.
Yeah.
Claude and I are exactly the same way because we were both that person. We were always carrying the relationships. We were always reaching out to the friends. We were always, whether it's his friends or my friends or our friends, we were always the one, yeah,
So those
nurturing,
are the calls.
cultivating, creating the opportunities, texting, calling. And you're right. And actually, I think I had this conversation with you. I think you're the reason. And I stopped doing that. And it's enlightening for sure.
It is, and it's amazing the ones that do call. You're like,
Yeah.
and so now I am watering those plants. Those
Yeah.
are the plants that I'm watering because those
That
are the
garden
ones.
is growing.
Yeah,
Yep.
that
I'm
is
with
the
you.
soil garden, right?
Yep.
So yeah. So I really love talking about this. So what do you think we're going to talk about next week?
You know what?
Do you
I
leave
feel
it
like
open?
well, or do you want to have a conversation about the interviewing process? You did
Yeah.
a fabulous addition with Dana thing today about the interview process, and so maybe we talk a little bit more about that because I am certain because we've talked about reinvention. There's probably a lot of sister friends out there who are at a point in their lives where they've done what they can do where they are, and maybe they want to do something different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm talking professionally, people. Professionally. All righty. So,
Until then,
yeah, stay
stay
loud,
loud, stay wild,
stay unapologetically
unapologetic.
you. And remember to like us, share us, subscribe to us, download us, and whatever it takes, get it out there, share it with the world. We are on Facebook, Hot Flashes and Bold Moves, Facebook page, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple for podcasts. We're two bold, badass women with mics and opinions, but we are not doctors, therapists, or any kind of official experts. On Hot Flashes and Bold Moves, we share real talk, life lessons, and hilarious stories. But this is not medical advice. You make changes to your hormones, health routines, skincare, sex life, or anything else based on what we say, make sure to check in with a professional who knows your body better than we do. We're here to entertain and empower, not prescribe. So, if your libido spikes, your face peels off, or your vibrator catches fire, God forbid, we love you, but it's not on us. Own your choices, use your judgment, and don't sue us.